You can't be pregnant for 52 weeks, can you?
I feel like I've been pregnant for 52
But you can't.
weeks.
You can't, can you? Is that a thing? No, you're getting juiced. 44 weeks. I know shit about pregnancy. Don't ever make me second guess myself again. Welcome back to the PRJCT Transform Podcast, where we talk all things health, fitness, and lifestyle. I am your coach. Coach? What's the thing? Host. Yeah, that's the one. At least you know we don't pre-record this bad boy.
It is.
Anyway, I'm Jack.
I'm Maddy. I am Maddy, and I'm just trying to find a comfortable position because we're recording from the gym.
And she's pregnant. It's just
It's
chaos.
not, I know, and I had myself convinced that I was in labour yesterday. Not that, I just had a lot of pain, and all of a sudden, it's got very uncomfortable. And I'm not even big. I'm not a big pregnant person.
Yeah.
And I was, looking up all of my symptoms, and I was in I was in
Dr.
labour.
Google said you got a pop.
Yeah. It said that I was in labour. That I probably needed to call a doctor. But
I looked up all my symptoms once.
Yeah?
From a blood test I had.
Oh, yeah.
And it said I had liver failure. Turns out I just exercised a
I
bit too
remember
hard
that.
before the blood test. So, so Dr. Google doesn't always tell you the right thing.
No, and safe to say I don't have a kid here yet.
Yeah.
But,
Imagine if you did. You should just keep being pregnant forever. And just have a kid but never tell anyone, and everyone just think you're pregnant for way too long. Just put a little basketball in there.
No, because I don't
Not forever, but
forever.
52 weeks. That's pretty long. You can't be pregnant for 52 weeks, can you?
I feel like I've been pregnant for 52
But you can't.
weeks.
You can't, can you? Is that a thing? No, you're getting juiced. 44 weeks. I know shit about pregnancy. Don't ever make me second guess myself again.
But you did.
I did. You should be pregnant for a year. Just fake it.
Nah, I don't even want to fake that. No.
Whatever. I've been pregnant for 20 years.
Really? Where's your kid?
Still in. It's growing.
Righto, sir.
It's going to come out an adult.
Well, apparently you and Chucky did make the comment that this one's going to come out as big as an adult the other day.
He did. Looked like a bar fridge.
My mother-in-law kept telling me in the beginning, and so because I've had so many scans, it was growing really quickly at the beginning, and they were like, we're going to have to give you a new due date, it's way ahead of time. So they did, they gave me a new due date, everything, because they're like, it's too big, it's measuring too big. Anyway, my mother-in-law was like, yeah, that probably sounds about fair, because James was huge. He was a huge kid. And I was scared. I'm like, I'm going to get freaking massive. I'm just going to be the biggest person on the planet. No, I'm not. And now they're like, oh, the baby's a bit small. It's just average. But then when I tell them, oh, no, my husband's 6'4", they're like, oh, you're not very big at all, are you? I'm like, are you trying to say...
But what if it's got your height? Well, is it going to come out 5 foot?
Probably. I think that's what they were expecting. Just a
They're
normal size
going to
human.
need 3 doctors. You get the head,
you
I'll get the
imagine?
legs. We'll get the arms
But
and the
this is the
legs.
thing. I am a small human. I'm not built to have a 6'4" man's child, but that's
you're a
what's
woman.
happening.
Women are built for great things, you know?
That was nice.
I know.
Do you believe that?
No. I'm kidding. I do.
Ah, damn it. We are built for great things, guys. Yes, we are.
Yes.
Anyway, what have you been up to? Because I'm apparently in labour, not in labour, one of them.
I'm just in liver failure, not in liver
Yeah.
failure. No, not really. I'm, I don't know, just training, just going through my growth phase still, doing my thing.
Eating a bunch of food.
Yeah, sickly. It's not sickly. It's very enjoyable, not gonna lie.
Do you have off-plan meals?
I have if I want to, I have one a week.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't really get cravings or anything. I don't know. I'm just not a cravings person. I'll have a Pepsi Max or a Monster or something like that.
Yeah.
Monster Ultra Mango. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Monster. And that's sort of my cravings are sort of done. If I want something on a weekend, I'll have an off-plan meal, just dinner or something with my mates or Emily or something. But yeah, generally, not anything too crazy. I'm pretty rigid through the week because I don't really care about food. It's fuel. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's become more of a
Yeah, because I'm like busy and I'm sort of always on the go. I don't have time to think. So I'm like, this is what I'm eating. Perfect. Chucking in the microwave. Like, I'll take my food to 7-Eleven and heat it up and eat it on the go. Like, I don't really care. So, it's all just been training, work, trying to build my clientele base up, learn some new shit, building on some shit in the background that I would want to have finished at some point this year, hopefully. Maybe, if the time...
You've dropped that a couple of times.
If the time goes right, it's a lot more work than I first anticipated. So, so...
So he's keeping that on the down low, no big reveal just yet.
I think I've probably already... I don't know if I've said it in a podcast yet, but no, nothing too crazy's going to be said yet in case it doesn't come to fruition. But, I'm just plodding along, doing my thing, staying low-key, I guess.
Nice. Always a good way to be.
Yeah, of course. Wish I was famous, but of course.
Oh, do you though?
Yeah, just for, like, the money. I don't want to be famous for, like, the paparazzi and shit, like, just the brand deals.
Just the brand, right.
And like just like the passive income I'll get from being famous. Imagine if I was famous, all the clients that would come to me, just because I'm famous.
Yeah, I mean it's true. Yeah. You wouldn't even need to be good at your job.
Nah, good thing
just
I am.
Good bonus.
Good thing I am.
Good bonus that you are though.
I know. Fucking hell, tell me when I'm shit at my job next time.
No, I didn't say that.
You tried.
I just said you wouldn't have to be good at your job if you're famous.
Yeah, I wouldn't have to be at all.
No. Yeah, it'd probably just be the money thing.
Yeah.
No, money.
Everyone's
because
like, money
then
doesn't
I could
buy...
pay...
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It does buy happiness. Yeah. When somebody is cleaning your house for you, cooking for you.
Exactly.
Yes, it does. Putting fuel in your car for you. That buys happiness.
Exactly.
Okay? Absolutely.
And at that point, I'm probably going to have a Tesla anyway, so it feels irrelevant. But,
so you don't need it.
But still, like, money doesn't buy you happiness, but it buys you a lot of things that would make you happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to come at us.
Oh, fuck them.
These guys.
I'll say, how much money you got? And they'll be a little broke fucking bit... No, I'm not going to say that word.
No,
broke.
Or they'll be loaded.
Yeah. I'll say, well, give me some.
Yeah.
Let me experience it.
Yeah.
You
Let me have your life for a day.
Let's switch shoes. You be broke and I'll be rich.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Anyway, we should get into our episode.
Yeah, we should.
What are we going to talk about?
I don't remember. What were we talking about?
This guy.
Resistance training. Why we push it.
Yeah.
So hard.
Yeah. Clearly you push it hard because...
Yeah. Clearly you don't at the moment. Because preggers.
What a guy. I trained like 3 times the other week.
And then how many times a week before?
3. No, I had 2 weeks of 3 in a row.
Okay. How much the week before that?
Maybe 1.
How much, like, a week ago you did 0?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so your 3 is averaged
so
out to
averaging
like
out
2
to
a
1
week. 1 a week, yeah.
No, I didn't do anything last week. I have trained this week, and I did have very good intentions of doing another session. And I'm going to be honest, it's not going to happen. No, straight up, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I train, obviously.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
What?
I train.
I train hard, obviously. I've got no excuse not to, so...
But, no, let's, like, debunk the toned.
The tone.
Because I don't mind when people... there's a lot of coaches on social media that are like, tone. That's not a word.
I think toned is a word. I think the meaning of the word is very misconstrued.
Yeah, I think people need to understand, like, what that actually means and what that looks like.
Yeah.
Because I still think there's a lot of people that don't understand that.
So I think toned itself, toned is very much just a description for having the right amount of muscle mass to complement your physique and not having excess body fat on that physique as well. So
that's a very easy, quick explanation of that.
So
well done.
Nick,
you can add some clapping in there.
Yeah. Cheers. So basically how I see it is when someone comes to me and they say they want that tone look, generally I don't think they know what they mean by the tone. They just want to be thinner. They want to lose weight. Mm-hmm. So, but they don't want to say they want to lose weight. They want to say they want to look toned. It's a whole different thing. For most... Yeah, sorry, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, when people say that to me on the phone or like during a call, I'll say, right, so is it when you're training, you want to be able to see like a little bit of a shoulder pump? Or you want to be able to see your glutes or your quads show while you're training or all the time? Yeah. And just getting that, what is that actual look that they're trying to achieve? Yeah.
What is toned to them? Because I know what toned is to me.
Yeah.
And what toned is to the industry, but not...
But
most people don't know what toned is to them. So Yeah, I see it as like if someone comes to me, you know, maybe they're carrying a few kilos or something like that, not in terrible shape maybe, they're like, I just want to be a bit more toned. And we say, all right, well, to get you there, we're going to put you through a fat loss phase, and then we're going to put you through a growth phase. We're going to put a little bit more body fat back on, but you're going to put muscle mass on. Then we're going to put you back in a fat loss phase, and then you're going to look phenomenal.
Yep.
And most times they're like, oh, I just want to like lose the weight. I'm like, well, there we go. That's what you want. So, and that's sort of how you get to how I get to the bottom of it, because I explain the process of what it would be to get them to that tone. Some people, like I've got some clients now that are, some female clients actually that are in a really, really good spot already. They might be a few kilos heavier than what they need to be, but they're like, oh, I want to just lose a few kilos. I'm like, yeah, mint. But as we're doing that, you can see like their legs are coming up phenomenal, like their body shape, their delts, everything. Yeah, so some people already naturally have a really good shape, and when they do just drop that few kilos, then they look really good. But some people need to put that little bit more work in. I think it's important for people to understand that it's not as simple as just losing 5 kilos. You might actually have to put some of that back on to then lose again.
And sometimes too, you can lose those couple of kilos, but the term, I don't know if many people have heard this, but the skinny fat, you don't have enough muscle mass underneath there to really show a phenomenal physique. Yeah. Like well, it's not there. Yeah. So
I was like that. I was skinny fat. Yeah. I think not fully, like I wasn't a bad case, but like when I look back on it now, when I did the photo shoot, end of photo shoot, I obviously lost 69 kilos, blah, 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 that shit. But my physique then was, you could see muscle definition. I had decent enough legs, but I was just skinny, and
just a smaller version of what you were before.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I think a lot of people think that they're going to look ripped as soon as they lose weight, but if they don't have this mass under them, they're not going to look like that. And you'll generally see it with like tradies and shit like that who are carrying a little bit extra, or footy players or something like that. Netball players are a big one. Netball players normally have really good legs.
Yes,
but
they do.
When they start to like cut down, they have a really good physique. But then you'll get people who might just be office workers who don't do anything, or people that have, not to shit on running, because I actually don't mind running in itself, but...
You ran a marathon, in case nobody knows.
Half marathon.
Sorry, half marathon.
I could have let you get away with that. Ran an Ironman. Ran an ultra as well, while we're on the topic. But, no, but like running itself, like if you are a runner, if you look at marathon runners, generally they don't have a lot of muscle mass on them. They're pretty thin. They're very like stick thin. And that's because it's pertinent to what they do, as in running. They want a quick pace, they want to be agile, they want to be light, all that. But whereas people want that tone look, they've got to be willing to have a bit more mass.
It's thicker than a running body.
Yeah, 100%.
But not you're not fat, you just have more there.
Yeah, exactly.
More muscle mass there.
Exactly. So, yeah, toned, a lot of people like to throw the word toned around because it's very much a trigger word, I think. So like, especially on social media, like you want to look toned in 5 minutes, you'll do this, you'll do that. But it's like
tone your abs, tone this.
And that's another thing, I guess, like toning your abs and toning certain body parts. You can't fucking tone a certain body part. No. Whoever's trying to sell you that, don't buy their fucking product because they're trying to sell you a dream, because it's not going to happen. Like, actually, you can't spot reduce body fat.
Mark Carroll just put a post up on his Instagram. Did you see that?
No,
yesterday or the day before. He was like calling someone out, and I don't love that.
I love that
only because on another podcast that I listened to, he was talking about it, and he just made a really good point about the fact, he's like, why are we tearing other people down? Yeah. And that got me in the feels, because I was like,
you don't want to tear him down,
he was calling out a Muppet who was like, to get rid of this, you need to do side bends. And then he went through the scientific principle of actually doing it and the load distribution and all of that sort of stuff. Yeah. And then at the end was like, but also, you can't spot reduce that, so don't do them at all.
It's true though, like you see it time and time. I see it with people that come to me or talk to me, like random clients or potential clients that are doing a consult, and they say, I want to lose the fat off my belly. And I'll tell them on the phone call then and there, I'll ruin their dreams. I'll be like, you can't just lose it off your belly. It's going to come off where it wants to come off. Yep. For certain body types and certain like somato types and shit like that, it's going to come off different areas first. You'll have struggle areas. You'll also have areas, every person is a little bit different. So like some people, especially like when they're losing fat, they'll lose it off different areas. But when they're gaining muscle back, they'll have hyper responsive muscles in areas of their body as well. So you'll always have lagging body parts, whether you're fat loss or growth. It doesn't matter what it is. But
which is why then you get very specific about, where you put your volume, where you put 100%. Your emphasis.
what you
how
bias
you
and shit like
program.
that. Yeah, 100%. But I think it's, people buy into the dream, and that's how they make lots of money.
Yeah.
And if
We're dream killers here. We're dream killers.
I'm flirting on the line of making lots of money or telling people the truth.
Damn it.
Every day. But
comes back. What's your core value, Jack?
To be
rich.
Honest and rich. Honest and rich.
I want to have fun.
And it's never going to happen.
I want to have my cake and I want to eat it.
I'd love to be honest and rich with people, but I can't.
Yeah.
So I'll just be honest.
On that though, do you because obviously we've both been through fat loss phases and I haven't done a specific growth phase, but for you, where did you notice where you sort of dropped fat off first, or?
My legs. My legs are always the leanest part of my body, no matter what. It's just, that's how it is for me. For some people, it's not. I don't know if it's from, having physical jobs, playing footy when I was younger, whatever it may be. And if it is, that doesn't make any sense because you can't spot reduce body fat. So I don't think it's that. I think it's just, that is just genetics my genetics. So I always had very lean legs and pretty powerful legs, like powerful looking legs. Probably lost it off my face pretty quick. My belly area relatively quick as well. My lower back is my struggle point. So my lower back is where I hold a lot of my body fat. Even now, like going through growth phases or like when I shredded down before this growth phase, even then my lower back was always the highest skin fold. It's just how it is for me. Just that love handly sort of bit of area. So for some people it might be completely different. They might carry it in their arms or their legs or their face or...
Which is funny because I'm similar to you. Like my legs gone within a week. And people will come up to me and go, geez, you've got such skinny ankles. And I'm like, I hate, sorry to anybody who said that to me. Yeah, but like, I get really self-conscious of the fact of my ankles because I can't wear some pants because they like don't sit around my ankles. Because they're little. Ankles. Yeah, because they're little. Yeah.
That's
and then it just looks
hilarious.
Like I go.
That's so funny.
But some people are really self-conscious about their ankles because they hold a lot more body fat in their lower body, and it's just I'm the opposite. So I'll go like legs gone, then it's like face, shoulders, and I just go like that, and then my belly and my back as well is just. What
about your arms? I know a lot of females have that problem with like the tuck shop lady arms.
Yeah, that's probably one of the last things to go to.
And that's See, I think, I don't know if there's much science behind this, but male and female sort of have certain stubborn points.
Yes.
But it will still differ between person to person. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's definitely one of my...
And when you do skin folds, like specifically, that's the word I want to use. Yeah. Especially, I don't know, one of those words.
Oh, I can tell someone's
women.
Special.
Yeah. I'm pregnant, shut up.
Baby brain.
Yeah, it's real. But when you're doing a client's skin folds, generally you can tell when a female either has their cycle if they haven't told you, or is coming up because their tricep and their belly measurement will be up. Yeah,
well, I actually can, one of my clients, they're going to know who it is if they listen to this, we were doing her skin folds one day and her belly was up quite significantly. And I said to her, I was like, you coming up to your cycle? And she goes, no, just had it. I think she just had it. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, you been stressed out this week? And then it all came out about her week. I said, cool, didn't touch on it again, just left it. Next week, skin folds were way back down to where they were the previous week before. And I was like, just something so simple as being stressed will just blow shit out of the water.
It also blows your clients' minds when you say that because they're like,
how do you know?
How do you know? Like, literally, because this measurement was up and the rest of you was down.
Yeah, I know because I'm honest and broke.
If
I was rich and dumb, I wouldn't have told you.
I'm a dream killer, sorry.
Exactly. But, yeah, so I think that's it. Like, there is telltale signs for a lot of people, but I think that's my main ones. And then when I was growing, I don't know what grows. For us, it's generally pretty general. I think we put a big specialisation on my chest. My chest was kind of shallow. Like there was no, I had like alright lower pecs, but there was no like upper pec development. It was just sort of like flat into like a pec.
So not giving you actual shape.
Yeah, there was no like.
Do you feel weird that we're now talking about your pecs in such a beautiful way?
Nah, not really.
No, you're alright.
Yeah, I'm pretty
confident.
I'm kind of happy about it because they used to be man boobs once upon a time, so they're not anymore. So it doesn't matter. So I can deal with it. But yeah, so we put like and that comes back to programming and shit like that. You're obviously going to put a specialisation on certain bits and pieces to bring it up, but yeah, we back my legs off a little bit because they're monstrous, but anyway.
Yeah, probably should go back to our point.
Probably our actual point.
Yeah, like why we push resistance training and why that is something. And it will depend on your coach. Like, it will depend on your coach and their belief in how to get you from A to B. But something, I think generally as a brand and as a team of coaches, we're probably all on the same page with this, is that strength training in particular is very beneficial to your overall health, but having as much muscle mass as you can is going to give you the better physique.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, 100%. I think resistance training in itself, so there's obviously some key factors in why it should be pushed, in my beliefs, is it is the one thing that will lower all-cause mortality of things like serious illnesses, lower the risks of, I should say, of cancer, diabetes, osteoarthritis, osteoporosis, all sorts of things like that. And so that's going to be obviously way more important in longevity in life than things like being as skinny as possible. Yeah. And I say skinny, I don't even say lean, I say skinny, because there's a difference between lean and skinny.
That's a whole other podcast in itself, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. So, I think that's a main factor on why I push it. The other one is injury prevention. So a lot of people are scared to lift weights to hurt themselves, but the stronger and more muscle mass you have on you, your muscle mass is what moves your bones in your body. So by your muscles contracting is what moves the bones in your body.
Joints.
Yeah. So if you can strengthen everything around the bones and things like that, you're going to move better. You're going to be way less likely to get injured unless you're doing something stupid or overdoing it.
Yeah. And sometimes there are just things that happen, and sometimes it doesn't matter what you've done. You just found the wrong way. But
you're probably, if you train weights, you're probably going to hurt yourself at least once or twice. At least. It's just, and it might be small, it might be big. I hurt myself once a year. Generally, something that puts me out for a couple of weeks. Generally once a year, and that's maybe me being a bit stupid, maybe me not being as optimal or efficient as I could be, but that's just my training because that's how I do it. So, but yeah, I think that's a big reason, is just overall health and longevity in your life is having mass and muscle mass there is going to be better for you. Especially as you get older. As you get older, you're gonna be a bit more catabolic anyway. Like, your body's gonna end up breaking down proteins to use for fuel. Like, you're not going to be eating as much. Your metabolic rate slows down. Everything goes backwards a little bit as you get older. So the more you can look after yourself in the early days, the better you'll be able to preserve your health for the long run. So, and I think a lot of people that are in the space and trying to get fit and healthy, they're obviously doing it because they want to live a long, healthy lifestyle. So that's why we push that, I guess, a lot. Obviously you sprinkle some cardio and stuff in there too for heart health and all that. But I think resistance training is just...
And even just on an everyday level, yes, those deeper inner health aspects, but just being able to, we don't have kids yet, either of us, but to be able to pick up your kid is something that people don't realise is a strength thing. Yeah. Some people can't pick up their own kids.
Some people can't even put plates in their cupboard. No. Because they can't get down without their body hurting or knees hurting or back hurting and things like that. There's multiple clients I've had that have sent me messages like, holy shit, I can fucking bend down and do shit. I can move. I'm not getting out of bed like I'm 95 years old anymore. Little things, it's the little things like that people don't see until they do it. Obviously the younger sort of generations of people, they don't understand that yet, and they hopefully, if they're in the space early enough, they never will have to understand it. But you get those middle-aged adults, even me, there was days when I was getting out of bed and I was fucking in agony on my back, and that's just because I wasn't healthy and then didn't do anything to really help myself either. So I think that is a big one, a very important one. Imagine being able to play with your kids,
but also even because we're parents a lot later on in life now. My mum has just become a grandma, my sister's just had a baby, and she's a young grandma. She'll hate that I've said her age, she's only 51. thought she was 52, actually. She wasn't very happy with me. But she's quite a young grandma.
Yep.
But there are a lot of people not becoming grandparents till much later on as well, because they've had their kids later on in life, or their kids are now having kids later on in life. And I want to be able to run around with my grandkids as well, if I'm lucky to have them. Like, to be able to move my body and have fun when I'm not then focused on just bringing up this kid, and when I just get to have the fun parts of it, to have that benefit later on.
100%.
Which I think is, like, that's a very long-sighted thing to have in your mind, but it's the reality of it. Like, to be able to have some of that enjoyment later on.
Makes life too real to me. I can't think that far ahead.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's just fun. Wait until, like, I really hate that I am saying this. That this is even about to come out of my mouth. But the reality of the fact that we're about to have a child is, like, it still feels really weird.
Yeah.
And the fact that, like, all of a sudden, I've never been worried about babysitting a kid.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Or a kid crying or anything, or not being able to feed it if it needed to be fed or settle it or whatever. Now that it's my own, I'm like, oh, crap. Yeah. Like, I don't have somebody as a backup for if this goes wrong or if this kid gets sick. Like, that's all very real. Yeah. As, like, ugh.
I'm still a big kid. I can't do that. Not yet.
I get it. I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah. Everyone's already pushed my chance of having a baby out by about 13 years so far, so I might go another 5 when you tell me how it goes. I might be fucking ancient by the time.
You never know. When James and I first got together, he was like, I don't want to have kids until I'm like 38 or 40, and I'm a couple of years older than him.
Yeah.
And I was like, that ain't happening. Like, can we at least bring that down a bit?
Yeah.
Anyway, he was definite, like, nah. Like, I just want to wait. Anyway.
Yeah.
I don't really know when it changed for him. I don't think he knew when it changed for him.
It just would have clicked one
day.
It
just happened one day. It's the same with even getting married. He literally bought the ring on the day that he proposed to me. He literally just woke up in the morning and was like, it's going to happen today.
What I'm like. I'm spontaneous.
He said he went and had a look, but, like, hadn't committed. And then just, one morning was like, I'm not going to take the dog to breakfast because I'm going to go buy the ring. Because if I take the dog, I can't go buy the ring.
It's true.
And then he proposed that night. So, like, and if you ask him, he doesn't even know, like, when that change happened for him. So it's the same deal. Crazy. You never know. You might wake up tomorrow, Jack, and be like, I'm ready. I'm grown up.
Fucking fat chance. I've always been, like, very adamant on certain life goals I want to hit before I have kids.
Yeah, that's
fair. Like, I want certain things before I have kids.
Yeah.
And the way the world's going, I'm never having kids.
Never gonna get them.
Because I'm never hitting my goals. So
you never know. The interest rate did not go up the other day. It's staying.
Yeah, my interest rate on the fucking economy is 0, so I couldn't care less what's happening. I was telling my brother, actually, this is way off topic, but I was telling my brother about how much our mortgage had gone up since I bought our house. Yeah. And he was like, what? And we were going over it, and he's like, because he's about to start working, he's like, that's nearly my whole wage. I was like, yeah, that's why 2 people have to go in. Yeah, and then even then. Yeah. And I was always adamant to have my own house. I'm like, I'm going to buy my own, but I'm like, there's no fucking way I can do that right now. That's
I was just
crazy.
Lucky. Yeah.
And the house I want's not cheap. Like, I know what my dream house is. I've seen it. I've walked it. I know what it is. I know how much it costs. I just need the land. That's all. I know what it is. So that's the hardest part. But one day.
It's funny.
I'm still young. I'm a fucking child, so I don't care.
No, you're like, I got time.
Yeah.
How old are you? 26? Sorry.
25.
Oh, I was a year off.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're in your mid-20s, but I just push you to mid to late 20s.
Exactly.
No, don't.
Late 20s makes me sound ancient.
You have to tick the next box now at 25.
What do you mean?
So, you know, like...
I'll get cheap car insurance because I'm over 25.
Yeah, you will. Dude, Riley, my brother just got car insurance and it was going to be double the price until he put my name on it. I'm now officially old enough that I can bring down your premium.
That's crazy. That's fucked. That's so
old. A hack.
You know, a story about insurance, actually. I know this is off topic, but I'll tell you anyway.
It's a life hack.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When I was on my L's, I got insurance for my car because I owned a car at that point, and it was like $50 a month for full comp because I was on my L's, right? When I got to my P's and like was 17, so I bought the car when I was 17 or 16. When I was 18, I had my P's. They never changed it over, so I was paying $50 a month for full comp insurance. And when I wrote my car off, they realised they fucked up, and I said, too bad, that's on you, and they had to pay me out still. And I was
no way! I'm surprised they didn't fight that.
No, because they fucked it up. They could have easily changed it on there, and it's their responsibility. And they unless they just didn't try hard enough, but they literally just said, oh, well, we're in the wrong, we'll still... Are you going to
name drop the insurance company?
Yeah, Yui.
No way!
Yeah, Yui.
Really?
Yeah. And then when I called the guy, anyway, after it all happened, I was going through it, and I was like laughing to the guy about it. I was like, well, you guys fucked up. He goes, yeah. He goes, that's all right, we'll put it through. He goes, you can at least buy me a 6-pack of beer with the money saved. And I was like, yeah, sure. I'll fucking send it to wherever you are.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was... Yeah.
Wow,
anyway,
there you go.
Side note.
Yeah. Sorry, back on topic.
Yeah, fuck,
back
it
on
was
topic.
really tangent today.
Yeah. Life hacks from 2 20-year-olds. Fun.
Yeah. Lived 100 lives.
Late 20s, I am. I'm
early.
You're mid-20s.
Well, what happens when you get to, like, you know when you like going like counting and you hit like 25, do you round down or up? Like if you're
No, you're just mid.
No.
The day you get over 25 and 1,
no.
you round up.
No. Well, I don't believe in that. I'm still 20 technically, so if I'm rounding to the nearest
20s.
10, I'm still early 20s, so...
That's a good question. That's fair. But no, resistance training, you need to do it. Actually, that was something that I was going to touch on, now that we are back on subject, is for women who start to go through menopause. It's really, really important for them. And so when I am setting up a client who is going through that stage of their life or about to reach it, you don't necessarily program differently for them, but you attack their nutrition a lot differently because you need to prioritize, one, health majorly. So generally you'll up their fats, but also protein. Generally because at the age they are and at what stage they're living at now, they probably haven't prioritized strength training enough. They've been doing step classes forever. They've been doing step classes, body attack, like aerobic classes and things like that. And they haven't been eating enough protein. So they don't have a lot of muscle mass to support what change their body is going through. So that's why we generally push strength training for that area or that stage of their life, especially too, because it is really important to help support your body along that way.
And it feels way better. What do you feel after you've done a step class? Nothing.
No,
what do you feel after you've just done a top set on fucking bent over rows?
See, I feel like
Phenomenal.
Well, you can't comment on this because you haven't had a runner's high.
Yes, I have.
Oh, did you?
Once.
I feel like once.
I think it's a real thing. Here's the runner's high debate. I'm standing up for the runners out there. So, a runner's high, it's got fuck all to do with, like, how far you run or anything like that. It's all got to do with the intensity of the run.
Yeah.
So, if you're running, like, when I was doing the half marathon, I did not get a runner's high. I felt fucking dog shit because I was pushing so hard to get it done. So I didn't feel good. When you're running at like a cruisy pace that you can just keep up, you feel good. That's when you get that runner's high, that feel good. And I don't
sticking the legs over.
Yeah, pretty much. So that's when you'll get a runner's high. If you're running full pelt sprints, you're not going to get a runner's high. So people that are very unfit trying to push pace, like what I was doing when I was trying to do the half marathon, I didn't get a runner's high from that. Yeah. But when I was just cruising on my easy runs or something like that, it felt good. You feel really good after it because it's at a pace where the intensity can't block out, like, I don't know if it's like the endorphins or the noctins or whatever the fuck they're called. That it doesn't block that out. When the intensity's too high, you sort of like make that redundant. So that's where you don't get one. So a runner's high is a thing to some people, but it depends on the intensity that you run at.
Wow. Similarly, for group fitness, that is what can happen. They get a high after the class, and so they crave that and that intensity that comes from the class, and then how productive they're feeling and all of that. They crash and burn later on, and they're not paying attention to that. They're paying attention to how they felt coming out of the class.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, and so then when they go into strength training, because it's not the same intensity, they don't know how to give the same intensity to that. They don't get that same high. That's got to be taught.
Yeah, that's fair. I get that. Still.
One thing we might have agreed on.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Steps still shit, so.
I've only ever done one step class in my life, and my calves were so sore the next day.
Shit.
Holy crap.
Shit.
Yeah.
It's the same as like, I'm not going to...
Go on!
No. This will be the one episode where I don't unleash on group fitness.
Oh, okay.
But...
An RPM instructor messaged me during the week to say that she'd been listening to the podcast, and she laughed and she said, Jack isn't allowed to comment Jack isn't allowed to comment until he comes and does one of my classes.
Yeah.
And she's going to know who she is when she listens to this. And she'll laugh out loud while she's walking and listening to us.
That's fine. I'll just fake turn the knob like all the instructors do on the stage. And like, oh, that was an easy class. What do you mean? Group fitness is a sham.
Oh, but it's not true. Have you seen how sweaty I used to come out of a group fitness class? I can tell you right now, I was turning the knob up.
Yeah, that's fair. I was, be careful with your vocabulary you choose. I did a HIIT class a couple times, and I was good at it. It was fine.
It's not about whether you're good at it or not.
It is for me. You're not first, you're last. Shake and bake. Ricky Bobby. What do you mean?
I was listening to, again, this is off topic, it was a SoundCloud mix that just comes up that I'm playing in the back while I'm PTing, and it was like, I wake up in the morning and I piss excellence, and then just goes into the music, and every time it gets me. It gets me. Anyway, did you have anything else that you wanted to add to that?
No, I think we touched on a lot of what we needed to and more.
Yeah.
So
some hidden gems in that one.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, quite a few hidden gems. But moral of the story, do some resistance training.
Yeah.
You might not enjoy it, but it is good for you.
Yeah.
And there is room to move. I'm probably a little bit more willing to move on that one. Jack's probably...
I'll move, but not
within
far.
Reason. Yeah, I'll move, but not far. I'm taking one step. Only get 5 steps out of me.
Yeah.
But yeah, do it. And if you have questions, please always ask. Definitely ask.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, where can they find you, Jack?
On Instagram at Project PRJCT Transform _Jack with a K. And that's pretty much it. I'll be on the main page from time to time. You'll see me there, and you'll see me out and about if you're local to where I do this podcast, or you can find me in the gym.
Yeah.
But don't talk to me if I've got my headphones on, because I don't want to talk to you. No. I'm one of them people.
I once got told off.
Oh, so did I. I said, get fucked.
Yeah.
I
was like, hang on.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to have my time. Anyway,
Exactly. You
can find me same at Project Transform _Maddy with a Y, just in case. And if there is anything that you would like to touch on, make sure you reach out and let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is all.
What have you got for us today, Jack?
Fuck, what is it? Zabohem.
What language was that?
Czech. See, I told you, I'm multilingual.
And if there's anybody that speaks Czech that actually listens to this, they're going to come down on you. Like, that was
fluent.
That was
fluent. I'm multilingual. Just with goodbyes. That's
just
it.
goodbyes, yeah.
Yeah, and I know a little bit more Italian.
What else?
Well, I can't say it autocorrect. It's the
that's
Papa
true.
Garlic scenario.
Yeah,
so.
that's true.
But I do know. I know salami. That's Italian. Pizza. Italiano. Pasta.
And on that note, we're saying goodbye.